army units continue chasing terrorists, destroying their hideouts. More than 300,000 students start their exams throughout the country. Turkish authorities arrest 4 people as part of investigations over Al-Rihaniya blasts. Welcome to our news bulletin. I'm Dania Nizam. Preparatory and secondary school students started their exams in various Syrian governorates. The final term exam took place despite several terrorist attacks in some areas, as terrorists from al-Nusra tried to prevent students from reaching their exam centers in the village of al-Mahasin in Deir ez-Zor. However, students insisted on taking their exams across the country, and the Ministry of Education, through its directorates in the governorates, worked hard to prepare the exam centers and to secure the suitable atmosphere for taking the exams. The coalition of the opposition forces of peaceful change considered the Russian-American initiative to hold an international conference on Syria a correct and positive step on the way out of the crisis in Syria. In a press conference in Damascus today, the coalition announced its willingness to attend any conference according to a paper containing the roadmap that was adopted in Damascus on September 26, 2012. The coalition stressed the importance of concentrating and continuing efforts to hold a meeting among the parties of internal opposition as a necessary step to contribute to laying down the basis of the coming steps to get out of the crisis and to achieve comprehensive and radical democratic change. The coalition considered it very necessary to hold a comprehensive conference of national dialogue in Syria. Such a step would be necessary to set up a course different from the greedy ambitions of America and its tools in the region, particularly the regimes of Turkey, the Gulf, and the extremist mercenary forces. The member of the coalition, Tariq al-Ahmed of the Syrian National Social Party, said invitations have not been sent to all the opposition parties inside and outside Syria. The member of the coalition, Fatih Jamous, said great efforts were exerted with internal opposition and initiations were extended to the Coordination Committee. However, this effort failed because they rejected the invitations. The coalition prefers to launch the dialogue conference in Syria. The deputy chief of the general staff in the Russian forces reiterated his country's position in refusing any foreign interference in the Syrian affairs. He also said that Russia will adhere to not intervening in the internal Syrian affairs, indicating that the Russian Defense Ministry fully supports the Russian President Putin as the commander-in-chief of the army forces, while he declared his position repeatedly in refusing any foreign intervention or using power for solving the crisis there, adding that Russia explained to NATO its aim behind developing and establishing the Russian warships in the Mediterranean, emphasizing that the Russian fleet operation is working on new mechanisms in the hands of the Russian leadership in order to ensure security in the region. The Syrian Arab Army continues to chase the terrorist groups, clashing with several terrorists that have been attacking the citizens in Barza neighborhood of Damascus, killing a number of them and injuring others, including the so-called Munib Shile, leader of a terrorist group, and the Libyan terrorist Omar Abeid al-Jassim. A military source said that security was almost restored to Al-Mista area in Barza after killing a number of terrorists. The source added that the Syrian Arab Army clashed with some terrorist groups that had tried to be stationed around Tishrin Hospital with the aim of attacking the hospital and the neighboring residential area. Most of the terrorists were killed. 2 terrorists exploded 2 booby-trapped cars today near the blanket factory on El Meshrafa Homs Road and at the sheep market on Homs Salamiyah Road, which led to the martyrdom and the injury of several citizens. A source in the governorate told Sana reports that the 2 terrorists' explosions led to the martyrdom of 4 citizens and the injury of 13 others, as well as huge material damages in both locations. In the framework of targeting the infrastructure, terrorists who belong to Jabhat al-Nusra launched several mortar shells on the electricity station in Mharda and Hama countryside. A military source said that the terrorist violation causes a fire in the station and the firefighters extinguished the fire. The same source added that the Syrian Arab Army unit eliminated a number of Jabhat al-Nusra terrorists in Halfaya town in northern Hama countryside as they destroyed a missile launcher and heavy machine guns they used in targeting the services institutions. The source pointed out that terrorists' attempts to explode tens of explosives that were planted on the road and they led to Al-Halfaya town and they were foiled. Terrorists detonated an explosive device planted in a car which was parked on the highway of Ruknuddin near Ibn Nafis Hospital, killing a number of citizens and injuring others. TV News correspondents said that 7 citizens were killed and 7 others injured, some of them critically, as a result of the blast. The explosion inflicted heavy damage in the surrounding residential buildings and in several cars that were parked nearby. The Turkish authorities detained 4 people suspected of planting the explosive devices in El Rihani on the Syrian-Turkish borders when 2 booby-trapped cars exploded, killing 50 people and wounding hundreds, in addition to causing great material damage. Among the citizens of people questioned about the explosions, 17 were detained, 4 have escaped, and others were released when they were proved innocent. And that concludes the news bulletin for today. It's over to our economic news with Vani. For more information, you can join our website on syriaonline.sy. God bless you and long live Syria.
Good afternoon. The Decision Support Center at the Cabinet specified many policies to enhance the Syrian economy through maintaining the infrastructure of the Syrian economy in order to support the production sector, preserve resources and establish safe economic areas, in addition to providing job opportunities and supporting agricultural products. Moreover, the center highlighted the importance of providing all the facilitations needed to launch small and medium-sized projects, encourage the rural economy and increase productivity. The Damascus Securities Exchange recorded 1,005.51 points. By this, the index would be 400 points less than the level it recorded 2 years ago, which was 1,393 points. On the other hand, the dealings were up by 41% compared to the previous week, recording 639,000 shares with the value of 74.8 million Syrian pounds, which is 60% up from the previous week's dealings. Thousands of Italians in Rome demonstrated against the government's austerity policy and the rising unemployment rate, calling the Prime Minister to work on creating new jobs in order to bring the country out of its recession. The leaders of the trade union said that the Prime Minister should stay away from the austerity program that was adopted by the former Prime Minister, which cut governmental spending, increased taxes, and reduced social welfare. The U.S. website Counterbench accused the international U.S. companies of national treason because of the policies they pursue to achieve their goals by using the poor American workers. The website also stressed that some of the big companies conspire with lawyers to achieve tax evasion, in addition to rigging the traditional pension plans for thousands of workers, pointing out that the U.S. companies suffer from corruption, such as the collusion of many accounting firms with the major executive managers in these companies in order to achieve illegal personal profits. The manager of the National Project for Shifting to Modern Irrigation asserted that the new lending mechanism was issued during the funding board's meeting. To implement the decisions of granting and allocating the specified sums of money to the farmers. Moreover, he indicated that the banking and real estate guarantees have been raised from 1 million Syrian pounds to 1.5 million Syrian pounds. The Jewelers Assembly set the price of the 21-carat gold at 5,650 Syrian pounds per gram, while the Rashadi golden coin was set at 41,100 Syrian pounds and the English coin at 46,000 Syrian pounds. And now over to the exchange rates according to the bulletin of the Central Bank of Syria. With this, we conclude our news. Thank you for watching and goodbye.